everyone, I'm Sophia Cole. I'm a 17-year-old student at Menlo Atherton High School in Northern California. The past year, I've set out on a mission to better understand BRCA-related cancers, specifically breast and ovarian cancers, and to learn how we can prevent them before they start. Let me tell you why this is so personal to me. I come from what a doctor calls a cancer family. I have a 50% chance of carrying a BRCA1 mutation, a genetic mutation that significantly increases the risk of breast and ovarian cancer. My grandma carries the mutation. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in her mid-30s, but is a survivor, 50 years cancer-free and still thriving at 86. My dad also carries the mutation and fought colon cancer at just 40. And most recently, my big brother, Mikey, who also has BRCA mutation. He was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer at 29. Against all the odds, he's now cancer-free at 31, but the battle isn't over. Pancreatic cancer is aggressive, and the threat of reoccurrence is ever present. His fight reminds me every day why we need a plan, to be proactive, not reactive, and to try to prevent cancer before it even starts. Naturally, I think about my own risks, and my sister Phoebe's too. That's why I started researching what young women with BRCA mutations can do to lower their chances of getting breast and ovarian cancer. And not just later, but starting now, in our teens and 20s. Our early years is when we can make things happen. With the support of amazing mentor, Allison Kurian at Stanford, who's one of the smartest and kindest people I've ever met, my mom and dad, my brothers who inspire and support me, and my sister, I built a simple online tool called Prevent Score. Like, what's your prevent score? So young women with BRCA mutations and their loved ones can see exactly how lifestyle choices such as eating well, exercising, and drinking minimal alcohol can lower their cancer risks. In fact, science shows healthy lifestyles can cut your cancer risk by as much as 45%. And beyond cancer, these few things can improve daily lifestyle, overall health, and lifespan in general. So before you take the short quiz, which you'll find below, called Prevent Score, let's take a few minutes to break down the basics. So what exactly is BRCA mutation? And it's also, by the way, BRCA or BRCA, if you hear me say both. And what are the best medical and screening options today to prevent BRCA-related cancers? So BRCA stands for breast cancer gene, but it doesn't just focus on breast cancer. BRCA1 and BRCA2 are genes that help repair damaged DNA. Think of it like this. They're your body's natural defense system against cancer. But when these genes are mutated, that defense weakens and cancer risks go way up. Essentially, BRCA mutations are passed down in families. So if one of your parents has it, you have a 50% chance of inheriting it. It's like flipping a coin. It's heads or tails. In families like mine, that creates a lot of mixed feelings. Relief for those who don't carry the mutation, and real worry for those who do. I'm still waiting to find out my own status, but I know I have a 50-50 chance, so I think about it often. So you're probably wondering, how common is a BRCA mutation? In the US, approximately 2.5 million people carry a BRCA mutation. That's about 1 in 400 people overall, and particularly as high as 1 in 40 people of European Jewish descent. There are estimated to be more than 25 million people worldwide with the BRCA mutation. So, if someone in your family has previously had cancer, such as breast, ovarian, pancreatic, prostate, or colon cancer, and especially if they were diagnosed young, getting tested for BRCA is super important. But the good news? Testing is getting easier every day. It gets more convenient, and companies such as Natera and Color Genomics even offer at-home test kits, which you can get through doctors. If you have insurance and a family history, it's often covered. If not, tests cost around $200 to $300, but they're highly accurate with over 99% sensitivity and specificity, so it's worth it. So now, what do you do with this life-changing information, this diagnosis? You see it on a paper, what's your next step? So first of all, if you do test positive for a BRCA mutation, you might hear about preventative surgeries, like removing your breasts or ovaries to lower your risks early on. And these surgeries do work. So for example, a mastectomy can cut breast cancer risk by up to 95%. And removing your ovaries can cut ovarian cancer risk by up to 90%. For women, this is a magical and resilient strategy, bringing one peace of mind, like you're taking back control of your body, and maybe even breaking the cancer cycle in your family. But let's be real, these are big and scary decisions with many things to keep in mind. Surgery has many risks, so let's talk about them. Surgery can affect body image and trigger early menopause, which impacts mood, energy, and even long-term health of your bones and heart. And emotionally, it's also heavy, even if it does lower your risks. The good news, you don't have to go through it alone. There's guidance counselors, genetic counselors, doctors, support groups, so many things. And you can go at your pace, whatever feels right with you. But keep in mind, this is the most surface level insight. But if you do want to know more, I highly recommend checking out the UCSF Center for BRCA Research, the Bassler Center at University of Pennsylvania, and Bright Pink, an awesome nonprofit who Dr. Kurian introduced me to, and connected to Stanford, and was founded by a woman named Lindsay Avner, who's a BRCA1 carrier herself and a leading advocate of empowering young women to take proactive steps for their health. So go check out her site, Bright Pink, I'll link it down below, has many helpful resources. But if you're going down the path of surgery, these are some things to think about. So first, there's a risk-reducing mastectomy, where both breasts are removed to lower your breast cancer risk by 90 to 95%. This procedure may be recommended to women with BRCA mutations in their 30s or 40s, but some women with strong family histories, like mine, might choose it earlier. Next, there's a risk-reducing oophorectomy, where your ovaries are removed. This procedure reduces ovarian cancer risk by up to 90%. For BRCA1, it's often recommended between 35 and 40. For BRCA2, between 40 and 45. And now there's a new option called risk-reducing salpingectomy, where the fallopian tubes are removed, but the ovarians are left in place. So since many ovarian cancers actually start in the fallopian tube, this can significantly lower your chance of. So if you do get ovarian cancer, it will allow you to keep your ovaries in for a few years. But it's often used as a temporary early strategy, but it is effective. And if you're not ready for surgery, I'd say here are some good options. So annual breast MRI starting at 25, mammograms starting at 30, and sadly for ovarian cancer, current screening tools like CA-125 and transvaginal ultrasounds aren't very effective, which is why surgery is often recommended instead of surveillance alone. Good news is there are a number of compelling technologies, including multi-cancer early detection tests, under development that hopefully will provide better screening tools for ovarian cancers in the next few years. Understanding your BRCA risks and intervention options are powerful, but here's the exciting part. Even before considering surgery, there are things we can do starting today to stack the odds in our favor. Before the money and the appointments and all the complicated paperwork comes in, early on you can do little things in your life. In fact, multiple published studies show that sticking to a healthy lifestyle, eating well, staying active, limiting alcohol, etc., reduces the risk of multiple cancers, including breast and ovarian, as much as 45%. That's significant. I'm proud to share with you the tool and website I built called Prevent Score. So as you can see how everyday choices like eating, exercising, and reducing alcohol can lower your cancer risk by up to 45%, so around 5 to 7% for each guideline followed. So if you're gonna follow only the diet, only the exercise, you'll see in the Prevent Score what you wanna do. It's your choice. This is just suggestions to better your lifestyle. This online tool is built on real science, but designed to feel simple and accessible. Based on research from leading healthcare organizations and hospitals around the world, and a large retrospective study of 94,000 UK biobank participants, PreventScore.com is fast, free, and made for young women like you and me. You can jump to the tool now at PreventScore.com or click on the link in the comments section of the video. I want to thank you guys so much for listening. After getting your Prevent score, please share your feedback and ideas. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how to improve this tool. Together, using science, technology, and resilience, we can make a real difference. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.